you know, when people came here, it wasn't a beautiful interaction with the things that they did to us. You know, that wasn't a beautiful thing. The missions, you know, the gold rush, you know, the ongoing effects of colonization, you know, are things that are painful. You know, those things are real, and they still affect us even to this day in ways that we don't even always understand. These are things I think that people need to be sensitive and understanding of. Our history is real, and our identities today are directly connected to our histories too. I consider myself a link in like a long chain of people. I often think of all of those people from before, you know, from before the mission, before outsiders came here. You know, for us, we began on the very peak of Tuxtec. That's where our world was created. Mount Diablo is what it's called nowadays by a lot of people, but to us it's still Tuxtec. And that's where the world was created, and after the waters receded, my family has lived in our home, you know, ever since then. And never has a generation in my family left that place. And that gives me a lot of pride. And so when I think about my identity, you know, I often think of myself as being, you know, one person in a long line of people before me. There's a really special feeling with just being a part of it, you know, and being able to understand that we all have our time to do things. We have a place in this world to do the things that matter. But the way that we can really bring respect to those people in that line is by keeping the things that they cared about alive. And if those things were taken from them, then having that strength that they had to be able to continue those things in any way possible, even if that means, you know, finding a way to bring back things that were never practiced in your life, and being able to practice those things again to bring that strength, you know, to all those people who are in that line with you. We all live relatively close to one another, so in our homeland, so we visit each other, and we have Chochenyo language Instagram page that we use for all of like the young people and stuff to be able to understand little bits of our language and our words, and with the hope that, you know, all of this will add up to them being fluent speakers. Within my family, I try to keep language alive and culture alive, and you know, they also teach me a lot about those old ways, especially our elders who have a lot of memories about the Rancheria and about the old times from before that, even go back before the missions.
What is a Native American anymore when we're so much mixed bloods? Even before there was so much European contact, we weren't a singular peoples, because if you didn't mix, then you would be, your gene pool would be stagnant, right? You need to be able to intermarry from outlying tribes. So we have the tallest people, we have the shortest people in terms of tribes. Here in California, there's so much diversity. Even in Southern California, the Mojave people and Yavapai had the hair that they could make dreadlocks. So that's cultural, traditional to their culture. What is a Native American supposed to look like? You know, it's so much of it is based on movies. We didn't have photos until the turn of the century, and this was already a changed people. So just reminding people, whatever you think I'm supposed to look like is based on a stereotype that they themselves are colonized. They themselves, their brain is being programmed to think someone needs to look a certain way. That's difficult to change in one conversation, you know. If you look around you anywhere, you know, how many people that you see around you are actually mixed bloods? You know, they're Native Americans, and some of them don't even know it. But we all look so different, you know, from even within your family group, from tribe to tribe, area. You know, some people look same, some people similar, but different. So there's no one true stereotype of what that Native American person would look like. So much of that is based on the media. Yes, I have experienced cultural appropriation. It does not make you feel good because so many of our peoples lost their lives trying to hold on to what is ours while it was being stripped away in a brutal way, in emotional ways, through boarding school and just being, violence towards us. So for us to be able to hold on to those things and have them be our own, now that they're cool, now that they're trendy, is hurtful when we ourselves were not allowed to participate in those things and feel that positivity with our own culture. And then to have someone just say, oh, well, that's cool, so I like it, I'm gonna do it. That it doesn't feel fair, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel just. The colonizer, the media, whoever, those multi-generations of stripping away of our culture just to say, oh, well, I could have a plastic feather on my cap and make it my own. That's not the reality of what the culture is. So it becomes something of a caricature of itself when it is utilized in an inappropriate manner. And that's the same thing having to do with mascots and having to do with what is trendy now, where we put these different things on our t-shirts and so forth that have to do, the eagle feather is sacred because of that bird that it comes from. And for other people to be wearing those headdresses that are worn by people that earned the right to have the honor and the blessing to be able to wear those from that culture. It's hard for people to understand because so many people, specifically in America, if they want something, well, we want it, so we're going to take it because, this is the land of the free and the home of the Atlanta Braves, and, so it's very hurtful, but hard to convey that concept to people that don't understand even that they are misappropriating someone's culture.